good friend, the Commissioner of Registration and the Superintendent of Elections for Atlantic County, Maureen Bugdon. You want to stand behind this?
Sure, I can put this on. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having us.
Good evening.
My name is Maureen Bugdon. Thank you, Connie. And joining me are two members of my team, Autumn Vasquez, who's in charge of outreach for our office, and Dan Mondorf, who's in charge of voting machines and part-time on the voting machine warehouse, along with another fine woman who's not with us this evening. So thank you for having me. Yes, I wear several hats. Just to give you a little background, I was 8 years on the Board of Elections as a commissioner before becoming Superintendent of Elections and Commissioner of Registration in 2013. And I've been serving in that role ever since, appointed under Republican and reappointed under a Democrat governor twice. I also have a Deputy Superintendent of Elections for the last 2 years when the office was expanded in the way of Audrey Miles, who's been a fantastic addition to our team. We have 3 offices, one in the county office building on the 4th floor, one in the county seat in Mays Landing, and then a non-public office in the way of the voting machine warehouse, which is the most secure of our 3 facilities for obvious reasons. It houses our fleet of brand new voting machines and electronic e-poll books. So for those of you who don't know me, elections are really my passion. Prior to that, I ran the Atlantic City race course, which was also a great passion. So I guess it's races of one kind or another that get my interest, right? And I also sit proudly on the United States Election Commission, the EAC, as a local leadership member. I'm the immediate past president of the New Jersey Association of Election Officials, a founding steering committee member for the Partnership for Large Election Jurisdictions, and most recently the Bipartisan Policy Group. So trying to keep New Jersey and Atlantic County specifically not only on the cutting edge when it comes to election law and changes, but on what's happening insofar as the election arena itself. Most especially my more recent strides have been protecting election officials who are coming under siege nationwide because of the rhetoric that you see in the news. And in our county alone, where there's been some significant threats that some of you may not be aware of, but where folks have talked about lining us up against the wall and shooting us dead. So we've had several indictments, several arrests, several prosecutions. For those of us who do this in bipartisan teams of 2, particularly during those lockdown dates of the election calendar. In other words, once ballots have been designed and programmed into these machines, our teams aren't even permitted in the rooms that house the election equipment unless they have a counterpart with them. There's surveillance, there's alarms, there's, the cameras, there's severe, strict sign-ins and things like this. And I tell you this because this becomes an extraordinary patriotic duty, whether you're working in the polls or you're working as an election official, helping to get these machines out and delivered, making sure they're secure when they're returned to the warehouse, and things like that. You very quickly lose any affiliation, whether you're Democrat, Republican, Green Party, unaffiliated, doesn't matter. You get into elections in our office and it really becomes about fairness. We don't tolerate any political discussion. We don't talk about Trump, Harris, Biden, Obama, anybody. It's off the table. You want to talk about that, you do that at home with your family, friends, and organizations. Don't bring it into the office. We're here to conduct elections and represent everybody who is a registrant or voter in this county. So I hope that gives you a little bit of background about me. More proudly, I'm a mom of 3 who have all now entered college as of this year, and was a 20-year survivor, cancer survivor. I got hit with another one a couple of years ago, but for those of you who are old enough, I'm like a Timex, I keep on ticking. So.